Real power isn't always loud or explosive. Often, it shows up in the steady calm you hold when everything around you is trying to shake you. Alina Habba is a textbook example of that quiet, unshakable strength. In high-pressure interviews, tense legal showdowns, and moments where the entire country is watching, she doesn't lose her footing. She doesn't snap, scramble, or get dragged into someone else's chaos. She reroutes the moment. That level of control isn't random. It's built through intention, discipline, and strategy. You might have clicked on this expecting drama, conflict, maybe even a meltdown, but what you're actually going to see is composure. This is a breakdown of how to stay centered, steer the moment, and handle intensity with precision. Because when the lights are bright, the questions are loaded, and people are baiting you with emotional triggers or public judgment. What you do next doesn't just shape that exchange. It shapes how people see you as a whole. Alina doesn't just respond, she waits. And in that brief stillness is where her leverage lives. That pause gives her room to breathe, to think, and to quietly take back the steering wheel. That moment of silence flips the dynamic, reminding everyone watching that she's not being dragged along, she's directing where this is going. Then when she finally answers, her words come out intentional, precise, and perfectly aligned with the story she wants to tell. That's how you keep your cool when the temperature rises. She's also mastered a tactic communicators call the bridge. When she's hit with a question meant to derail her, she doesn't take the bait. She'll nod to it just enough to show she heard it, then glides right back to what she wants to highlight. But what's really important here is, and in that instant, she's back on track. It's smooth and it's powerful. That shift keeps attention exactly where she wants it and makes sure she's the one framing the conversation instead of letting the question control her. And maybe her most underrated strength? Protecting her right to say no. You don't owe an answer to every question, every comment, or every provocation thrown your way. Alina makes it obvious that saying, "I'm not going into that," isn't being evasive, it's being strategic. It signals that her priorities and principles, not pressure or noise, set the boundaries. So here's what you can take from this. First, lock in your message. Be clear on what matters most to you and let every reply orbit around that core. Second, use the bridge with intention. Turn distractions into pathways back to your main point. Third, defend your no. Refuse what doesn't align with you, firmly and without apology. Alina Habba shows us that real influence doesn't come from being the loudest voice in the room, but from being grounded, clear, and deliberate. If that hits home for you, pass it on, because someone you know might be just one pause away from taking their power back. Stay steady, stay intentional, stay in control.